Everyone, welcome back to Three Phase Innovations. In this video, we are actually going to energize a fault current reactor, three-phase breaker box, and one of the banks, and show you how everything reacts. And we're going to try to throw a fault into it, and you can see what kind of fault current it draws. Right now, this is how you would do it as a class. So we have this option we can turn on the fault current reactor, and we can have it energized up to here. Now, at this point, we don't want the students ever working on the banks while they're energized. It's just, once they've completed their task, then we'll energize and then we'll check. So, let's just imagine we've got three groups working on three different banks, and the middle group is done. So they've been working on a Y Delta 120, 240, three-phase with a 208 high leg on it in the middle. They've completed their task. What they would do, as you can see, we have it de-energized right here at the three-phase breaker. No power on the lines. We don't want them reaching up here while it's energized. There's no possibility of a potential touch while it is. So we're going to energize. Let me back this up. We're going to turn on closing the breakers. Group's going to say, I'm good to go. Hey, are you guys in the clear? Are you good if we turn this on and energize it? Yes, we're in the clear, because their breakers on these banks should be open. They should never be closed. We only close them when we're testing. So at this point, we're going to be like, all right, we're good to go. Fault current reactor's on. Three-phase breaker. We're going to energize A phase. Now, I want you to notice something. Because this is a delta connection on the secondary side, it can be on the primary. Watch all the lines energize. A. So now it's backfeeding the entire system. This line is energized, A, B, and C. A, B, and C. This bank is closed, so it's actually backfeeding the entire bank with one face closed. And down on the other end, everything is energized. This is one of the things about it that shows backfeed hazards. Don't ever assume that the line is dead because two cutouts are open. So at this point, we want to go ahead and close the other two phases. B phase coming hot, and we're watching this and monitoring this. C phase coming hot. So we are at 1/10 of an amp with one bank energized. That's about how it should be. So you're at about 1/10 to 2/10 of an amp, depending on if it's a delta high side or a Y high side. So the most you'll probably ever see, if you have every bank running, the max would be 6/10 of an amp. That is the max. So again, those are depending on delta connections on the high side too. But I also want to let you all see this. So de-energize the bank real quick. And I'm going to tell you how much the voltage does affect with the rheostats. I'm going to energize again. A phase, B phase, C phase. Just by energizing, it pulls a drop with that one bank. And again, like I was telling you, now that we know there's 1/10 of an amp, we know it's good. It's like, well, how do we know it's good? If you see something that goes to 1.5, 2.5, anything that goes above 1, automatically, I don't care if you've got 1, 2, 3 banks on it, if it goes above 1.0, we have a fault. And that's dependent upon how many banks we have, but if it's above 1.0, automatically a fault. Shut it down. But you've got about 3 to 5 seconds is what we like to let the students be able to see. Is like, hey, we know there's a fault. Then we're going to shut it down. Eventually, if you let it go, the breakers are going to trip, but we try to protect the equipment. We've seen that there's a fault, we're going to shut it down. But for this situation, 0.1 is accurate for what we've got. We know the bank is good. It's wired correctly. So we're going to step down here real quick and check the voltage on it. We've already got a rotation meter on it. So it's showing clockwise. And again, it lets the students know, is this truly with clockwise on the primary? No, we don't know. This meter is just a monitor of what we use for rotation at that point, so we can identify it. So there's counterclockwise rotation. Your rotation is coming from up here. not this meter. It's just a reference point so we can mark it if we have to disconnect it. So we will put it back at a clockwise. And again, it's a reference point if we need to work on this and disconnect it so we know how to tape it back up. So at this point, we can check our voltages. Phase to ground. So C, blue, and B, yellow, should be the 120 because they're the closest to the grounded point. So we should get 120. So we're going to go to C and check voltage. To ground, we're at 122. B, 122. Now, A is all the way back here, so it's the furthest away from the ground. So it's a 1.73 times 120, which will give you 208. We'll check A. We got 208. So now we've checked the bank, we've got a rotation, we know it's good. Now what were to happen if we were to throw a fault in it? So what we would do is I'm actually going to change the polarity on it. Kenny's going to keep on running right here. I'm going to shut it down. And let's just say that we had a subtractive transformer bank that actually got thrown in there. Don't worry about the switches. This again, you can order these additive and subtractive, mix, match them however you want to, but these have the switches on them. So for quickness, we're going to say 2 additive and subtractive. Now we're going to go back to the fault current reactor and energize it. We're going to go ahead and make sure it's closed in up here because everything is off. Everything is still on as far as the breakers are closed in. We have no power to this bank, but we're going to go back to the fault current reactor. Mixed polarity, not wired in correctly. And we're going to energize it. So, got my fault current reactor on. We know we swapped the polarity on B phase, but let's monitor the fault current reactor. A phase coming hot. No fault there. B phase, and we're going to C phase. We have got a fault, 1.3. Shut down. We were at 0.1 a minute ago. We went from 0.1 to 1.3. That is a 1,300% increase. That is quite a bit of a fault. But again, the model is not a lot of fault current running through it, but it's enough to justify to where we can use the numbers and show what it would be in the field. So if we had a transformer that was capable of producing 400 amps, 500 or 600, at 1,500% increase, you can imagine the kind of fault current that transformer can produce for seconds, milliseconds, whatever it may be. So this model also can show you the hazards. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead, we're going to de-energize, and we're going to show you a few more scenarios with the model. Thank you.